ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्मपुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओं, सुप्रभातम्। ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 54 ॐ सोमपोमृतपः सोमः पुरुजित्पुरुषत्तमः विनयोजयः सत्यसन्धो दाशार्हः सात्वतां पतिः जीवो विनयिता साक्षी मुकुन्दोमितविक्रमः अम्भोनिधिरनन्तात्मा महोदधिशयोऽन्तकः अजो महार्ह स्वाभाव्यो जितामित्रः प्रमोदनः आनन्दो नन्दनो नन्दः सत्यधर्मा त्रिविक्रमः महर्षिः कपिलाचार्यः कृतज्ञो मेदिनीपतिः त्रिपदस्त्रिदशाध्यक्षो महाशृङ्गः कृतान्तकृत् महर्षिः कपिलाचार्यः कृतज्ञो मेदिनीपतिः त्रिपदस्त्रिदशाध्यक्षो महाशृङ्गः कृतान्तकृत्. The 57th shloka starts with a very, very beautiful nama. Maharshihi Kapilacharyaha is one word. Maharshi is the adjective to Kapilacharyaha. Acharya writes, Maharshihi Kapilacharyaha iti sa visheshanam ekam nama. That means it is one single name. And then he explains, Rishati janati mantran iti rishihi. Who is a rishi? The one who sees and who knows the mantra alone is called as a rishi. There are two things. One is called mantra and the other one is called shloka. Mananat trayate mantraha, meaning what? Those which are revealed to a person at the seat of meditation. He does not compose them, but it is revealed by Bhagavan himself at that highest state of quietude of mind. It is possible because we also know it from our radio. In fact, radio does not have anything, but when you tune the radio to that particular station, you don't have a wire to that station, but when I tune my radio to the station, the frequency of the transistor and the frequency of the radio waves, when they match, that transistor is able to pick up those frequency and give us that song or talk which is played or that program which is played in the radio station. Similarly, the rishis could tune their mind so in such a subtle way, they could tune their mind. In fact, the tuning is almost no mind state. At that time, the frequency of the Shabdavani of Bhagavan can be heard. And it is only through that we have got all the Vedas. But they were all strewn everywhere by so many people hearing, listening to some mantras, and they transferred it to their Shishya. Their Shishya, when he becomes the Guru, he transferred it to his Shishya. Like that, Shravana Matrena. The Vedas were, transported, or today we call it as what? Knowledge transfer. KT sessions is very common in corporate sector. Here also, knowledge transfer took place. Through what? Through these mantras. Shlokas are those which are written. It has got an author. It is Paurusheya. Whereas mantras are Apaurusheya. That which are not written by anybody. Bhagavan Shri Vedavyasji only collected all of them to whatever extent was available. And it is said, it is only few, 0.0 some percent alone were available. Look at the gamut of Vedas we have today, and that is some 0.0 and some number. Maybe 7 or 8 per 0.07% alone is available. That many mantras have already been lost. Vedavyasi brought all of them, made it into 4 and gave us as Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharvana Veda. And Rishati, the one who thus listens, who has been revealed to mantras, and the one who janati, the one who knows the mantras. Meaning, not only the mantra, but also the meaning in its perfect sense of the word. They are not interpretations. Interpretations are those what we do. But the meaning of the mantras in its true sense of the word were known by these rishis, and then they gave it to the Shishya Parampara, and then it came down the lane to all of us. Such a person is called a rishihi. And Kapilacharya is said to be born to sage Kardama and Devahuti. And Maharshi Kapilacharya is considered as an avatara of Bhagavan Vishnu himself. And the most important part here is, he taught Vedanta as Sankhya philosophy to his own mother. And she could gain the knowledge. Shuddha Atma Tattva Vijnana was taught to his mother, and she could gain the knowledge and was liberated. And one more reason, it is said, he was in golden brown color. These are all things which our common mind will not accept, because we don't know something different from normalcy what we consider as. Therefore, a person in golden brown color is sometimes not very easily acceptable. But it was so in the olden days, in Satya Yuga, in Treta Yuga and all, it could have been possible. Satya Yuga people were living for 1 lakh years. Can you imagine that? 100 years also we can't imagine. 100 years is a big celebration today. Why? Nobody lives for 100 years. But in Satya Yuga, to say somebody lived for 1 lakh years, we may not accept it. But then it is a fact. So, these are all the points that has been revealed to us. And thus, Kapilacharya is none other than Mahavishnu himself. Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi, the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita says, meaning what? Krishna himself says, among the Siddha Purushas. Siddha Purushas meaning what? Those who have already gained liberation through knowledge. Among all of them, Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi, I am that Kapila Muni. So Bhagavan himself has revealed that he himself is Kapila Muni. Therefore he is called Maharshihi Kapilacharya. Acharya, another beautiful word added here. Acharya means Acharati iti Acharya. The one who knows the knowledge, who has assimilated the knowledge, and who lives that knowledge. Today we call many people, even I am called as Acharya. So many people are called Acharyas. Acharyas are in so many institutions. Ramakrishna Mission, Chinmaya Mission, Mata Amritandamayi Mission. So many missions are there. So many spiritual institutions are there. And many of them who have come under that race, they have been called as Acharyas only. But the true Acharya is one who has gained the knowledge, who has gained the meaning of the knowledge to its substance, meaning to the sense of the word, and the one who has applied in his life. So from that standpoint, calling an Acharya may not be suitable for many of us, but then we are called as Acharya, as teacher. So from our standpoint, we accept it as teacher at this level. Whereas Kapilacharya, when it is said, he definitely suits that word called Acharya because of his living the very knowledge. Alright, Maharshihi Kapilacharya. Kritagnaha, another very beautiful name. What is Kritagnaha? Kritagnyata, this we all have heard. Being gratitude, being grateful. Gratitude, having the sense of gratitude. What is that? A sense of indebtedness, a sense of accomplishment, and then for which we are very grateful to all the sources of those accomplishments. Sadhana Mandira, for example, today is able to do such a lot of work because of so many volunteers. Volunteers physically, volunteers spiritually, volunteers, of course, financially, all of them put together is what Sadhana Mandira is, for which we are extremely grateful. What is this gratitude? A sense of fulfillment, a sense of gratitude, because of whom a particular achievement was possible. Therefore, Vande Guru Paramparam, when we say, we are grateful to those gurus, because of whom we gain the knowledge of the Supreme. Kritagnaha. Then another very beautiful meaning Acharya gives here. Kritam Karyam Jagat. Karyam is performance, action. What is that action? Jagat Kritam. Jagat Kritam meaning what? He has created this world. Not only created, he also sustains and he also resolves. He also dissolves. Therefore, as creator Brahma, as sustainer Vishnu, as dissolving principle Shiva, all the three are nothing but Mahavishnu alone. Therefore, he is called as Kritagnaha. Jagat Kritam Karyam iti Kritagnaha. Nyaha Atma. Nyaha means the knower. Knower of what? Atma. He himself is the Atma. And he also knows that all that has been created has got that Atma in it, minus which it cannot exist. Therefore, Nyaha Atma, the one who has gained the knowledge of that. Kritancha tad nyeyascha iti kritagnaha. One is, he alone is the one who has created this world, and then he is a knower of the world. Therefore, both world and the knower of the world. Why do we say world? Remember the second law of the causation. Effects are nothing but cause itself in different forms. Therefore, this whole world is nothing but Bhagavan in different forms. And Bhagavan is also the knower of all this world. Therefore, Kritancha Tadnyeyascha iti Kritagnaha. He is Kritagnaha. Very beautifully, Tulsidasi writes, this Kritagnaha word, the first meaning what we saw, being grateful. I thought we should share this. Why is it to be shared? All of us are living because of the blessings of Bhagavan and so many people around us. So many factors around us. So many natural factors around us. So many people and their work. Their work, while they work, they do not know that I will be benefited. They just work, but then we are benefited. Like the farmer. He incessantly works in the field and he produces grains. And through supplier and then distributor, finally it reaches me. All of them have to work for me to cook my food, for which gas is required, or stove is required, or heater is required, an electrical cooker may be required. Whatever is the means by which my rice is cooked. So factors are innumerable. To claim that I am an independent person, I can live independently, I don't need others' help to live, is a foolish statement. Because we cannot survive without others. And therefore, we need to be grateful to everyone. In fact, very many times, our gratefulness is colored by our own raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, ityadi. The gratefulness is also forgotten because of our own ragadvesha. And Kritagnaha, Bhagavan is called Kritagnaha. Why? Rahati na prabhu chita chuka kiyehi karata surati sayabara kiye ki. Tulsidas says, Prabhu here obviously refers to Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji. Chita chuk kiye, in case we make mistakes, we make blunders, na rahati. It never reaches Bhagavan, it seems. Why? He doesn't look at our mistakes. But he says, surati sayakarata. In case, in between so much of hangover, so much of samsarika bandhana, in case we remember once, he says, Bharikegi, he will remember us 150 times probably. 150 times is only a ballpark number, just like that I am saying. But 1,000 times probably, or innumerable times. Bhagavan is so wonderful. He only wants us to remember once. Rama Nama Umme Nudi Mana Rama Nama Umme Midiyali Hridayada Veene Umme Midiyali Hridayada Veene Umme Rama Nama Umme. Very beautiful bhajan in Kannada Bhasha. Rama Nama Omme. Once you remember him. Adida Madida Nodida Papava Horahayalu Bidu Omme. Adida, whatever we may have spoken. Madida, whatever we have performed. Sins Papava. Horahayalu, to throw it away, just say once Ramanama. With bhavana of Kritagnyata. There is a story also. One Shishya was sent to the Rajdarbar. The Guru was called, Guru was unwell, therefore he said, Shishya, you go. There is something to be answered, you go answer and come. So Shishya went to the Darbar and some deliberations took place, and Shishya said, for all these problems, there is only one solution. What is that solution? You chant 3 times Ramanama and everything will be solved. And I believe something happened and it got solved. Then the Shishya came back to the Guru, and Guru asked what happened. He said, I said like this and then it got solved. Guru got so, he was pained. He gave one slap to the child, to that student. The student was brought, with respect, he was brought to the kutira of the Guru. All those people were also surprised. This Shishya has given the glory of the Lord, and why is he beating? The Guru said, why did you ask them to say 3 times? Once was sufficient. Because that is the glory of Ramanama. Ramanama Omme. And with what? With total gratefulness. When I chant Bhagavan's Nama, Bhagavan's blessings will flow. Therefore, Tulsidas says, Surasati Saya. You just think of him once, which is Atishaya, which itself is sufficient. And when you do that, Bharikiyeki, he will remember you 1,000 times. That is the glory of the Lord. Therefore, he is called Kritagnaha. Medini Patihi. Patihi here does not mean spouse. Pati here means Lord. Medini Patihi means the Lord of the world. Medini means world. Medinyaha bhumyaha. Bhumyaha is this bhumi. Patihi, Medini Patihi, the one who is the Lord of this whole world. This we have dealt with it several times, this concept. Many namas have got a similar meaning, which I have been telling time and again. This we have heard Therefore, we proceed further. Tripadaha, this also we have dealt with. Trini padani asya iti tripadaha. The one who had 3 steps. This we know in Vamana Avatara, Bhagavan took 3 steps. And of course, third step was on the king itself, because there was no other place. With 1 step he covered the entire universe, and the other step he covered entire celestial worlds, and therefore he wanted for another step, and the Raja gave his own head. This we know about the story. 3 steps. Trini padani asya iti. And pada also means position. Position meaning what? A state of being which is beyond. And that pada is Paramapada, and therefore Trini Padani, when it is said, it is beyond everything but expressing through. This Param Brahma Paramatma is expressing as Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva as 3 positions: creator, sustainer and dissolver. Generally, very many people use the word destroyer. There is nothing called destruction. When Bhagavan is destroying, it is a constructive destruction. Unlike what we do. Ours is destruction only. Construction is very hardly anything. But destruction is what we do. But when Bhagavan destroys, as though, it is constructive destruction. Therefore, Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma takes these 3 pada positions, and therefore he is called Tripadaha. Tridashadhyakshaha. Again, Gunaveshena Sanjatastrisraha Dashaha Avastaha Jagradadayaha Tasam Adhyakshaha. What is the Tasam Adhyakshaha? The Adhyaksha of those 3. What are they? Jagradadayaha. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. The one who is the Adhyaksha of all these 3 is called Tridashadhyakshaha. And the Lord of these 3 states, that is waking, dream and deep sleep state. Why is it these 3 are taken? Because all these 3 are experienced only in the presence of that Bhagavan, minus which we cannot experience any of them. Therefore, 3 states. And then 3 states have got various combinations based on what? Guna. Gunaveshena. Dashaha avasthaha. Dashaha here, that state. Dashaha does not mean 10 here. Here Dashaha means state. State of avasthaha. What are the avastha? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. So he is the Lord of all these 3 states of our experiences. Therefore he is again Tridashadhyakshaha. Mahashringaha. Again here, this Nama is very beautiful and it indicates Avatara Tattva of the Lord. Mahan Shringaha Yasya Saha Mahashringaha. Shringaha means a horn. In Varaha Avatara, with that horn, he could lift the globe, the earth from the deep seas. We know the story of Varaha Avatara. He brought the world up with the help of the horn. Therefore, it is called he is called Mahashringaha. Another meaning of Shringa is peak, huge mountain. And Meru Parvata is where Bhagavan resides, it is said in the Puranas. And there, in fact, Meru Parvata is actually North Pole, where sun never sets, it is said. And that is the sthana where Bhagavan stays and rules the whole world, it is said. These are all Pauranika stories to give the sense of devotion. Now we all go to so many pilgrimages. Now latest fantasy is Kashi, Varanasi. It is a fantasy now. Everybody wants to go to Kashi. Why? Modi ji's constitution, and he has made it so beautiful, unimaginable when compared to the previous way it was. To that extent, development has taken place. So whether people go there to see Vishwanath or not, they want to see Kashi, Varanasi. Earlier Varanasi was a pilgrimage, even now it is there. There are sincere people who go there. We should not underestimate them. But the sudden wave of Varanasi probably is to see the wonderful development that has taken place under the administration of our Prime Minister. Pilgrimage, be it Varanasi, or you go to Rameshwaram, or you go to Shabarimala, any of the Tirtha Kshetra when we go, does it mean Bhagavan is not there in other place? It is not so. Bhagavan is everywhere, but the mind does not accept that he is everywhere. Therefore, it looks for this one. Very beautiful example also is given. Air is everywhere, but if you want to fill your cycle tube, you require that pump, isn't it? Why don't you catch air and put it in the cycle pump? You can't do it. Why? It has got its own limitation. Air has no limitation. Cycle tube has got its limitation. Is it not? Similarly, Bhagavan is everywhere, but this cycle tube has got limitation. Therefore, it requires that alambana. Therefore, you go to Kashi, you go to Rameshwaram, ityadi tirtha kshetra. Think, therefore here, Shringaha, that Parvata is also one Tirtha Kshetra where Bhagavan is residing. It is a faith. Alright, therefore he is called Mahashringaha. We also have great number of people going to Kailasha Yatra, Kailasha Parvata. Isn't it? Kailasha Yatra, isn't it? Kailasha Yatra, Manasarovar. All these are what? An alambana. For the moment, oh, I went to Kailash and came. This is only Parvata. But then the scriptures talk about it to bring devotion. And when I go there and come, I feel good. When I go to Kashi and come, I feel good. When I go to Rameshwaram and come, 22 wells you have to take bath in Rameshwaram. When I take there, bath and come, I went to Rameshwaram, I had bath in 22 wells. We feel good about it. And we also say, it is Bhagavan's Kripa, my trip went off very well. I feel happy. Is it not? Mahashringaha, Bhagavan is called Mahashringaha. Kritanta Krita. What is Kritanta Krita? Kritasya samsarasyantam samharam karoti iti. Kritasya samsara. Kritasya meaning what? That samsara that has been created, antam karoti. Antam meaning what? He destroys this bhavana of samsara once the knowledge is done. Therefore, he is called samsara krita, samhara krita. What is samhara krita? The one who kills, the one who destroys what? Samsara. And he also destroys. Antakrita, he also brings an end to not only Rakshasas in the Purana stories, but also the Rakshasas within. How many Rakshasas all of us are having in our head? Tell me. Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. All these are personified in multiple millions of Rakshasas. All of them are there in us. In so many various ways, those Rakshasas express through us in the world outside. When I surrender myself at the feet of Bhagavan, when I say Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama, Bhagavan ends those vices in us, ends those bad qualities in us, ends those Rakshasas in us. Therefore, Krita Antakrita, he brings an end to all the Rakshasas. And then he says, there is a understanding, destroyer of death also. What is death according to us? When we drop this body. When we drop this body, we say he died. How did he die? Yamadharmaraya came and took away his life. Yamadharmaraya also finds death in the hands of Bhagavan. How do you say so? Yama is also a position. Remember, Yamadharmaraya, that position, the Lord of Death, is also a position given to a particular Jiva. All celestial beings also are time bound. Their time may be long, but they are also time bound. Kshine punyam artyalokam vishanti. Once the time is over, they have to come back as jivas in the world. Only when I realize my true nature and understand my Atma Swarupa can that end. And that end happens only with the blessings of the Lord, and Bhagavan can end the death also. Therefore, he is called destroyer of death. Think. Mrityum kritantam kritani itiva kritanta kriti. He can kill even the death itself. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, bhasmasat kurute tatha. Tatha means after that. After what? Jnana agni. Once the fire of knowledge comes into our being, sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. All our actions, karma phala, then the cycle of janma, marana, everything goes. Everything goes meaning what? All are falsified. All are negated. And we realize our own true nature, which is nothing different from Bhagavan, one and the same. Therefore, sarva karmani jnana agni bhasmasat kurute. Therefore, kritanta krite. With that, the 57th shloka ends. We will continue with the 58th shloka now. Mahavaraho govindas sushenah kanakangadi guhyo gabhiro gahano guptas chakragadadharah. Mahavaraho govindas sushenah kanakangadi guhyo gabhiro gahano guptas chakragadadharah. Mahavaraha. What is Mahavaraha? Acharya says, Mahancha asau varaha cha iti Mahavaraha. One who is great, Mahan, and who is also an avatara Purusha in the form of Varaha. Varaha means boar. Now we know, we just now discussed that through that he brought the earth out of the sea, out of waters. Therefore, he is great, and this indicates avatara of Mahavishnu. Govindaha. Govindaha we know. Who is Govindaha? Lord Krishna. But Govinda has got several meanings. We will not be able to take all the meanings, because then for next 3 series I will have to talk on Govinda only. Therefore, quickly I will take up. One Govinda is the one who is a Gopalaka, who is also called Gopala. Govindaha, the one who protects Go. Another actual meaning is Go-bhihi, Vani-bhihi. Go here refers to Veda. And Go-Vani-bhihi means those teachings, Vani of the Vedas, Vedyate iti. Vedyate, the one who is known. One who is known through Vedas. Go-bhihi, Vani-bhihi, Vedyate iti. Vedanta Vakyaihi. Vedanta Vakyaihi, one who gains knowledge of the Supreme through the meaning of Vedas, given by whom? Bhagavan himself. Therefore, he is called Govindaha. When we say Vani Bihi, you remember, Guru is also called Bhagavan in himself because we gain the knowledge of those Vedas through the Vani of the Guru. Think. Through the teachings of the Guru, we now come to know about the Vedas. The Rishi Munis, they learned the Vedas directly from Bhagavan. But now we are not that pure to think of all those things. We cannot gain. Of course, not that we cannot gain, but we are not that mature enough to gain it from the Asharira Vani. Therefore, whom do we take recourse to? To the Guru. Therefore, Guru is also called as Govindaha, and Bhagavan is also called Govindaha because it is through the Vani of Go, Vedas, can we attain Bhagavan, can we gain the knowledge of our true nature, which is Govindaha. Sushenaha, another beautiful name. One who has huge armies. Army here refers to what? Even Ravana has got army. Kumbhakarna has got his own army. Every captain has got his own group of army. Every battalion has got a captain, a commander. Though, technically speaking, all of them can be called as Sushenaha. Shenaha is Senaha. But due to Sandhi, it has become Shenaha. Sushenaha. Shobhana Sena Ganatmika Yasya iti Sushenaha. Ganatmika means Gana Atmika. Gana here refers to every single soldier in the army. And Shobhana Sena refers to the army of the celestial beings. Bhagavan Ramchandraji also had an army. Army of what? Kapi. Vanara Sena. Therefore, he was also called Sushenaha. And therefore, one who possesses an auspicious army. It is not the Rakshasa army. From the standpoint of the auspiciousness, meaning the celestial army. Another standpoint is, every army we can take because everything is nothing but Bhagavan. So from that standpoint, even in Rakshasa, what makes them a Rakshasa, what enlivens them to be a Rakshasa is again Bhagavan only. But the Rakshasatva in them is their mind. But for that mind to work, it is Bhagavan only. So any army you take, it is Bhagavan only. Therefore, Sushenaha. Here particularly, why is it given Ganatmika Yasya? Is to indicate that army which is having noble virtues and following Bhagavan. Therefore, he is called as Sushenaha. Kanakangadi. Kanakamayani Angadani Asyaiti Kanakangadi. The one who wears golden armlets. Armlets is only an example. It's only an indication. All ornaments are Bhagavan only. Now see, Kanakamayani Angadani. Meaning what? The one who wears all kinds of golden ornaments. After all, Vishnu is who? Alankara Priyo Vai Vishnu. Abhisheka Priyaha Shivaha. Shiva is Abhisheka Priya. You don't have to give him anything. You just keep on doing Abhisheka, he will be very happy. He will bless you. Of late, even Shiva also has become Alankara Priya because like people like us, when we do Shivaratri Puja, when we do other Abhisheka to Shiva, we decorate him with beautiful Alankara also. That is our expression of love towards Bhagavan. But Bhagavan himself as Shiva, he is a Abhisheka Priya, and Bhagavan Vishnu is Alankara Priya. We will know with Sri Krishna, one beautiful peacock feather he keeps. Alankara. And he looks so beautiful. isn't it? Kanakamayani is full of gold, like Angadani, like armlet. Therefore, he is called Kanakangadi. Ha. Guhyaha. It's a very, very, very beautiful name which we will see tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om